Late night booty calls in prison? hmm Let's do it. So before we go any further, if you could do all the ticky tacky, likey, savey, Cindy things, that'd be amazing. I'd love you forever. But even if you don't, you still get to listen to the story. And at the end of this video, there will be a code for a free month of my Substack where you can listen to the first 3 audiobook chapters of my memoir. Well, 2 right now. I have to record the 3rd one later. So I can promise it, right? It'll be there starting tomorrow. Hi. So today we're going to talk about the first sexual encounters I had after I made it to the prison camp at Pensacola. And before we do that, we're going to discuss the difference between being in county jail, being in federal prison, and some of the levels of federal prison. So county jail is equivalent to a medium security facility for most places. For all the county jails that I was in, including 2 parish prisons, 19 total institutions as I got shipped down after I tried to flee to Canada. So I'm a badass. I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't even have a passport. So stupid. So anyway, in the federal system, once you get there, there are essentially 5 levels of classification. There's Supermax, which is 23-1. You're never leaving your cube. You're never having contact with another human being unless it's a doctor or a nurse or a guard. Then there's high security, which is a bare step down from the Supermax. And then there's medium. And then there's low. And then there's camps. And Beaumont, where I was, has multiple different classifications of prison, but I was at the low. And the key thing about a low is that they have walls and fences and controlled movements. All the doors are locked when it's not a controlled movement. So, like, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck wherever you're at for approximately 50 minutes during the day whenever controlled movements are allowed. The thing that everyone loves about a camp, and it's why they're called club fed. They used to have swimming pools and tennis courts and stuff. You could go to college from them. Can't do any of that shit anymore, at least not when I was there. A camp has no security like that. There are no walls. The doors to every place are just unlocked. You just walk in. You can just walk out your dorm whenever you want. That's how you watch TV in most of the dorms at Pensacola, which is closing, by the way. But you just walk out to especially if you were in a dorm, you would just walk out of the dorm and sit on a porch in the back, no matter what time of day it is, and watch TV. And if you were of a certain mind, and many inmates were, you could just sneak off the compound and go do shit. Usually they would be going like to the Tom Thumb convenience store down the street to buy cigarettes and stuff. But uh, so I never did any of that. She was engaged in other kinds of illicit activity while she was in prison. And this is what we're going to talk about today. So, when I got to Beaumont, I mean, from Beaumont to Pensacola, I got put in A unit. And unless you are an old man or with some kind of infirmity, when you get put into A unit at the time, you're getting an upper bunk. And the way they divided the dorm was essentially like 30 or so little cubes with 5-foot high cinder block walls and anywhere from 8 to 12 bunk beds in each little cube. So, you could have as much as like 24 people sleeping in a little area. That wasn't real. I never remember it being that many. For me, it was like 16. And uh, because most of the people in A dorm were older and or handicapped, like you weren't getting a bottom bunk if you were able-bodied. I did not get a bottom bunk. And this worked out to my favor when trying to get the pieces because I'm laying up and by the moment I hit the ground at Pensacola, I did not make the mistake I made at Beaumont of trying to like hide my sexuality. I was just out from the rip. If you asked, I'm a big old gay dude. That's just how it is. And it worked to my favor. So I'd be laying in my bunk. It's past lights out. and I'm on an upper bunk, and the upper bunks are roughly a foot over the cinder block walls. So like you can see everybody walking, and everybody walking around can see you. And most of the men at say 1 o'clock in the morning are asleep because they have jobs. They work doing landscaping at various military bases, or they get on a bus to go to Eglin Air Force Base and do landscaping there. You know, uh, I had a job in the laundry, and at the time I didn't have to be there till like 8 o'clock in the morning. So I would stay up late at night baking and uh, having sex. So I'm laying up in my bunk, and this like 5'6", really trim, really fit, uh, younger man walks by, and I'm just laying on my bunk, and I make eye contact with him, and he goes, and I'm like, is that a challenge? And then I stop and wait. I would destroy this guy in a fight. Why would he be challenging me while I'm just laying in my bed looking around? And then I went, oh, it is a challenge, just not the kind I thought it was. So I didn't act on it, right? And 10 minutes later, same guy walks by, does the same fucking thing, and then like does his head like this towards the bathroom. Bitch, I'm down. He's cute. So I got out of my bunk, I go into the bathroom, and he's waiting. They have this area of showers, and you go past the showers, and there's some stalls with actual like, dividers and doors. And he's waiting at the edge of those 4 stalls, just waiting for me. And I get there, and he goes, and like inclines his head like he's done this 100 times. There was no hesitation. There was no confusion about how to make it happen. He just goes to the last stall and gets in there with the door open. And I'm like, okay. So I follow him. I go back to the stall, and he's there with this just like, I mean, it was like an elephant's trunk just hanging out. And I'm like, what is it with these small, skinny, built younger guys that have these just ginormous pieces? I mean, what? Statistically, it shouldn't be as likely as it is, but it is. I have proof. I have a gauge in the back of my throat. So I don't. I wish I did, though. That would be a really great thing to have, wouldn't it? It would just like beg for its own use. I'm not doing this because I'm gay. I'm not doing this because I like to suck pain. I'm doing it because I need to calibrate the measuring device in the back of my throat. That's all. So stupid. So I immediately get down on my knees, and this guy, like literally, while I'm like halfway down my throat with his piece, lifts my head up. I mean, he's half my size, but he does it. He grabs me under the chin, lifts me up, and then repositions me gently so that I'm standing between the toilet and the wall, and then pushes my head back down, grabs the back of my head, and just dives all the way into the root and makes this noise. And those of you who fuck with DL men, you know this noise. It's like, oh, but it's like he can't make it that loud. So it's barely audible. And my God. Less than 10 seconds later, this man is just spilling children down the back of my throat. And I know I shouldn't have been satisfied by this. I know I should have been there on my knees, like, that's it? That's it. But bitch, this man, I mean, he came back for seconds, thirds, fourths over the next 9 months. I mean, at least 100 times. And every time was, I don't know, there was something weirdly, wonderfully erotic about how quick, how like meaningless, how unattached, but how consistent it was. So I liked it. Really weird thing though, I can barely remember his face, and I never knew his name. Never. So that's it for today. If you like this story, if you like me, please sign up for my PRAVITY Substack. The URL is going to be tracing across the screen right now. And here's the free code. I love you all. Bye.